Hello YouTube. Figure I'll go ahead and review where I currently am on what amounts to the multi-region side of my console collection. Specifically what I've done to get around various region locks. Now the first one here. Now as a rule I don't care for region locks at all. I think they're an outdated premise in this day and age. The first one, and I can certainly thank System Reactor for getting this for me on one of his runs to the game stores. I haven't actually been able to test this because I need to get a Famicom cartridge somewhere, somehow. As you can see, it is a converter to make this a 60 pin as opposed to a 72. Of course, it is a bit tough to get out one-handed. That's among one of the easier ones that I've got right now. Then we'll step it up, and this one is actually literally the easiest one I've done. That's because I snapped the tabs out of this one. I actually do have a Super Famicom game. I've got a copy of Final Fight. So that was actually my excuse to finally go and get the pliers and, well, adulterate my console here. Next up, and a similar thing, although I had to do a fair more work on it, is I finally cut the tabs out of this. I don't have a Japanese N64 game, but I figured as long as I was thinking about it, so I broke the console apart, and I actually replaced all the screws in it, because I hate game bit screws, even though I've got a bit for them these days. So I pulled the top off, pulled the collar that's on the inside out, and got out the hacksaw and cut the tabs away from it. So now this one should be able to access anything Japanese should I ever have a need for it. Now this one I haven't done any modifications for a region mod. What I've actually got is I've got a boot disc. I've got one of the old Game Shark boot discs for this that lets me actually load it up, put the Japanese disc in, and then play. And finally, this one's the prouder of the lot, but I also have another mod to make to it at some point. As I've actually, this doesn't really look any different. No switches. I actually built a switchless region mod for this. I've got a bunch of old Genesis controllers I'm keeping for cables and the like for mod projects. I actually had the board from one of my mod projects where I'd taken the cable off of it, so I went ahead and took the switching chip out. So it's still essentially Sega hardware in here. Now the only problem I've got right now is this one. Its default right now is Japan as a result of the mod. I haven't gone in to see if I can make it think it's North American as the default. So there's another mod that I'm planning on doing, because these cart slots are a bit finicky, and it's actually, the cart sits too deep by default. So the plan is I'm going to see if I can shim the inside of the slot to actually keep the carts from bottoming out in there, and make sure that they run 100% of the time. So anyway, that's my current status for region mods, and well, basically getting rid of the region mods. So anyway, at some point I'll see about getting another video together, and I'll talk to you later.